Hi, I'm David Jarvinen, and this is Mosaic Arts Online. Creating on dimensional surfaces was designed to discover important mosaic lessons in a contemporary way. This is a wonderful way for beginners and intermediates to understand fundamentals on movement and flow, as well as employing transition techniques that add interest and textures. In this online course, we will use bisqueware as our base. These products are available online, and you will find them on our PDF or at your local ceramic retailer. There are many other dimensional forms that can be found that are great educational devices and fun to mosaic as well. Secondhand stores have glazed ceramic items that could be used, if properly prepared, which I will teach you. Yard sales are a great place to find lawn ornaments and sculptures as well. These types of bases are another wonderful way to practice your designs, and you will have a sculptured mosaic when you are finished. This approach to sourcing has a repurpose reuse principle as well. Depending on the materials you use, your finished mosaic may or may not be freeze-thaw stable. So know your environment and materials regarding this. I will introduce you to many of these different shapes, but I will mosaic this bird from beginning to end. I will show you how to look to nature for inspiration, or you can create a more whimsical mosaic. I will teach you how to create your design lines and introduce you to many material choices. Once I finish the mosaic, I will demonstrate how to grout this three-dimensional shape. This course comes with a PDF of all the materials, tools, and resources. So let's get started.
David, thank you so much for coming back to Mosaic Arts Online. This is just so great to have you and this project here.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me back. I appreciate it.
I love it. So go into a little more detail about these different sculptures. I mean, there's so many to choose from the pinwheel to the bird, or this penguin that I just absolutely adore.
Yeah, the penguin's fun. This one is a little larger sculpture that we used in our course. But with this particular one, I want to employ some of my organic abstract techniques.
That's right.
To the breast and do them like I was just picturing them in black and then have a nice bright breast. I thought it'd be fun, all swirly and everything. So I'm going to practice on that. So maybe you'll see that in the future.
An organic abstract penguin. Wait for it. It's coming.
But most of our stuff here is bisqueware, but there's many other different types to choose. The glazeware from secondhand stores or yard sales are great.
Right.
You do have to prepare them in a certain way in order to work on them, but that's covered in the video.
Of course.
And then there's also larger terracotta yard art and things like that. You often find balls or things like that. Maybe St. Francis sculptures and things like that.
Yeah.
Those are fun to do. Animals, there's lots of yard art that are animals that are fun to do too. So
like frogs and stuff.
Yeah.
What kind of materials would you stay away from though if you were to be shopping secondhand or yard sales and stuff like that?
Plastic, resin, probably metal if you're beginning. Once you understand principles, you can break the rules, but understanding them is important to begin with.
And what about the texture on them if they come really bumpy and you want to start to mosaic on them?
That is a great question. The texture is often smoother than we imagine, but we cover skim coating for the glazeware in the online course, and that same technique can be used for smoothing out things as well.
That's great. And now talk about the materials. Here we just showed a little sampling of what you've used for a couple of these birds, but you really do have just such a variety that you could choose from in creating these. I get bored with materials, so I mix things up a lot. But most of these are glass. This one here is porcelain. The reason I chose glass for the most part is because it adds, anything you put on something adds bulk. And so glass is thinner, so obviously it adds less bulk. Not as bulky.
But porcelain has a nice effect with the matte finish and the bright colors that it has. Stained glass in this bird here, we have some down the throat, which gives you longer linear areas with no grout joints. Sometimes that's nice in a design. And then larger materials, like on the bird, you can make...
you did the flowers.
Yeah, you can make flowers, things like that.
This is the not grouted bird versus the grouted one, just to show you the different things that you can do with these birds. And obviously with this glass, how much reflectivity people will have, whether it's interior or exterior, right?
Yeah, and then exterior, you have to pay attention to that too.
So that's what brings in these different adhesive choices, right?
Correct, yep. So there's different materials for different applications. And so you want to understand that a little bit and know when to use thin set and when to use glue and when to use mastic or whatever your adhesive would be, silicone. Some of them work for everything. Some of them only work for certain things, but mostly it's based on indoor, outdoor porous, non-porous,
Right.
those types of criteria. So
And you cover that in the course.
I do, yes.
Awesome. Well, I think this is such a great thing for beginners or intermediates, the way he goes through his design lines and creates this one as though it is from nature or more whimsical, depending on what you like. So I can't thank you enough for coming back to Mosaic Arts Online.
Oh, you're welcome. Enjoy.